Summer is over and school season is here. This can be really tough on kids and worse on parents. Here are 5 things that will help to make your transition from summer to school season much easier. Let's jump into it right here and now. Number 1, change bedtime and wake up times at least a week before. This includes you, mom and dad. This is one of the things that is the most important that you can do because it helps your little kiddos' bodies get acclimated from the fun of summer, staying up late, waking up late, to the transition of an often very early wake up time for school. There's a lot of things that you can do with this. I don't know how you do it around your house. I've got 3 kids, 8, 6, and 3 years old, and all of them have to go to school, and we have to typically get out of the door by about 7:15 or so. So when we change that wake up time, it's a pretty significant effort on our part. We have alarms in every single one of our kiddos' bedrooms, and we've trained them from a very early age to, 1, stay in bed while that alarm has not gone off yet. And that is absolutely huge. That's just a tip for normal times as well. If you can get your kiddo to notice that alarm and have the discipline by keeping them in there until that alarm goes off, that's going to save you all kinds of pain in the mornings. But in particular, having that alarm go off at the same time every single day and letting them get up with that will really help. And move that bedtime back by about 15 minutes or so every single night in advance of school starting. That way, when that 6:30 alarm comes, you're not going to be as shocked, and your kids as well will have the rest and won't be as irritable as they move forward. That's number 1. Number 2, snacks and lunch before bed. Do everything before you go to bed so that the morning is a lot easier. So this includes a lot of different things. Our kids, of course, have water every single morning and throughout the day in their water bottles. So I will fill all of those water bottles up, put them in the fridge so they're ready to go. It's amazing to me personally how much time it takes to just fill up a water bottle, or 2 or 3 water bottles in my case, in the morning while you've got kids that are irritable wanting food. So get that water set up ahead of time, put it in the fridge. Snacks. If your kids are taking snacks to school or they have separate snacks, get those all bagged up or compartmentalized up and put them ready to go on either in their bag, whatever they're taking, or on the counter, and have those ready. And then prep for lunch. We have, heated lunches that we take with our oldest kiddo when he goes to 3rd grade. So I basically have everything out. I have a cup for the water to heat up the water. I have the little thermos, and then I have all of the food that is still needing to stay cold in the fridge but ready to go. So all I have to do now is pour the water into the cup, heat it up in the microwave, and then get that going. So having that all pre-staged and ready to go is going to be incredibly helpful. And then breakfast. Whatever your kids do for breakfast, I'm curious, honestly, what your kids do for breakfast in the morning. We really only revolve around 2, maybe 3 things. We have waffles, typically just Eggo waffles in the morning with peanut butter and jelly, and we put that on the top. Of course, banana, something like that. But we've also really gotten into just regular oatmeal. Not the really sugary packeted kind. We just get the big thing of Quaker oats. And then the night before, we get a large container. We spread that out basically 1-to-1. So we do about a cup of oats to a cup of soy milk or vanilla milk. And then you can put that in there, let it steep overnight. And then it's just that much quicker to heat up in the morning so that you can get that out there with some raisins or some apples and things like that. So pre-stage that the night before. So all of those things, if you can get those done, that's one less thing for you to do in the morning when all craziness is breaking loose and you're trying to move forward with that. So something to think about. Number 3, clothes out, teeth brushed, hair done before breakfast. This is one thing that really helped us. And of course, it just kind of depends on the age of your kids, right? With our 8-year-old, soon to be 9-year-old, we make sure that he completely gets dressed. He wears a uniform for his classical school that he goes to, that he brushes his teeth, and that his hair is done before he comes out of the room. For our 6-year-old, we've been really working on him last year while he was in preschool, now going into kindergarten, where he can try to do that as well. He brushes his teeth on his own, and we can make sure that's all set up and then have his clothes laid out for him ahead of time, again, for that. And then for our 3-year-old, we really do our best when she comes out to have the brothers help her get changed as well. So we're doing all of the stuff downstairs to get breakfast going, but more importantly, when they come down and they're crazy and they're eating breakfast and they're irritable again, you will at least not have to go back upstairs or back to their room to get all of the rest of the stuff done, which could really take quite a bit of time. So if you get that done ahead of time, that's going to just make your mornings that much easier. Now, one of the things that I've talked about quite a bit on this program and on this show are different ways and techniques for you, if you're my dad, or if you're a mom, and your husband or spouse, to really build up your core virtues as a family and what you stand for and what you espouse. So what I've done for you is, if you're interested, I have my model 5 core virtues that I love to espouse, to talk with my kids about, to be able to live our lives by. I've got a link to that document below, and you can change it to fit your lifestyle as well, and it gives you a good appreciation for it. So if you're interested in getting a quick appreciation for, here are some core virtues that we want to have in our house so we can move forward and do better things and be better as a family and move up in the world, this is a great thing for you to check out. So again, check it out in the link in the description. This is what I live by as a family, and it might help you out too. Anyway, back to number 4. Calm confidence on the part of mom and dad. You know, your kids, they're just like sharks. They smell blood in the water. And if you are losing your mind, if you're stressed out, if you're frazzled in the morning, they smell that blood and they will come right after you, and they will make your life just that much more difficult. If you've been in this situation before, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. It can be so easy to get frustrated in the morning trying to get your kids to do things when you're behind and you know you have to get out the door. And the more you get amped up and frustrated, the more your kids sense that, and the more they're going to jump on top of you and make your life even more difficult. So there's a couple of things that I try to do in the morning to help alleviate some of that blood in the water capability that my kids could pick up on. The first thing, I try to meditate. And yeah, meditation seems and sounds kind of weird, but it's actually really simple. You can just take 2 minutes in the morning, even before you get out of bed. All you need to do is take a deep breath in and out and focus on your breath. Your mind's going to wander to what you have to do in the morning. Your mind's going to wander to what your kids need to do, to what your job, your first call is of the day. As soon as you notice that wandering, bring it back to the moment. Take that deep breath in and out. That's going to continue to train your mind to notice when you're getting frustrated later in the morning. So meditation, do it for 2 minutes, super easy. And then when you are feeling yourself get frustrated and you're thinking, gosh, I want to get things moving forward when my kids are making me want to scream, I do what's called the first just breathe exercise. And this is super simple. It just takes 10 seconds. So if you notice while you are stressed out, if you look down, your hands may be completely clenched and you might have a fist. This is unconscious, but it's storing up negative energy and it's storing up frustration and tension. So if you release your fists, shake them out nice and easy, that will immediately start to relax you. And then another place, the first just, the J is jaw. Your jaw is really tight. It holds a lot of tension. And if you're stressed out, notice your jaw, it's gonna be really tight. Drop your jaw straight to the floor. That will release some more tension. It'll allow you to calm down a little bit more. And then finally, 1 mindful deep breath. So release your fists, drop your jaw, 1 breath. That will physiologically drop the pulse, blood pressure, and anxiety in your system so that you'll be less apt to get frustrated and scream at your kids while you're trying to get out the door. So try that first just breathe algorithm. Just takes 10 seconds. It will super help you as you try to move forward. Final point with that, trying to stay organized ahead of time, obviously with everything that we've talked about. Make sure that you have all that organization in place, preloading the car with all the stuff that you need. And then when your kids make you want to scream, do your best to not yell at them. Even if it's just, hey, get your stuff, get in the car, right? Because that helps to increase the anxiety level with your kids, which perpetuates itself. So if you feel like you're going to yell at your kids, do that first, just breathe, and then get down to the kids' level, grab their shoulders, look them straight in the eye, and explain to them what you need them to do, and have them help go do that. So that's number 4, is to get yourself calm and confident as you're moving forward with things. Finally, number 5, break bad habits. There's something so unique about these transitions in our season of the year, and starting school is a huge one. If there were bad habits that your kids picked up over the summertime, or even bad habits that happened last year, a perfect example and a story that I'll share with you is with our oldest kid. Last year, I had a problem where I was cooking dinner in the evenings. My wife works in the evenings, and I was letting him watch a lot more shows, especially during nap time with the other kiddos, and in the evening before we started eating dinner. And it was to the point where he was watching way too many shows. So my wife and I decided and thought about it and said, you know what? We want to break him out of this, and we want to stop him from watching as much and getting as much screen time as he was. So we said, hey, we're starting school, new rules in the house. We are only watching a show for a certain period of time during the week. Bromley, my oldest, had an absolute conniption fit. He was so pissed off. For the first week, it was like he was going through withdrawals. He could not handle it. He could not understand why he wasn't getting the shows that he wanted. But eventually, because we started this new process and he was already going through all these changes going back into school, it got matriculated out of his system and he got into this new process and he hasn't mentioned it ever since. And we're now in our new process. So if there's some bad habits, or better yet, new opportunities you want to introduce into your family, this is a great chance to do so. So break those bad habits, utilize this as your excuse to do so, and move forward from there. So there you have it. Number 1, change that bedtime early. Number 2, get your snacks and everything ready before bed. Number 3, close out, teeth brushed, hair done before they come downstairs. Number 5, get calm, get confident, do that 2 minutes of meditation, and do that first just breathe exercise. And number 5, break those bad habits or start some new good habits while you have the chance and while you have the opportunity to do so. What did I miss? Are there anything else that you do specifically and anything that we should talk about future? Put that in the comments below. This channel is all about dads, from a fellow dad to a fellow dad, living this journey we call fatherhood together. So if this is interesting to you, give me a subscribe, like the video, and there's another video right here that might be of interest to you as well. Talk to you soon. Hope you have a great day, and thanks.